Hey, kudos to you. You've clicked on this video because you are trying to learn more about healthy weight loss, and I sincerely applaud you for that. But where you are different, and this is what has me so excited, is you are focused on healthy weight loss tips that will empower you to sustain that weight loss you do achieve. And in this video, I'm going to detail 5 surprisingly healthy weight loss tips to truthfully help you sustain your weight loss. But here's the kicker. These are tips that you are not going to find in your everyday blogs, podcasts, websites, or wherever it is you get your weight loss content, but they are surprising, sustainable, healthy weight loss tips that I have used the past 12 years working one-on-one with more than 1,400 men and women just like you, helping them to lose more than 10,000 pounds collectively and countless inches along the way. And let's go ahead and dive in to tip number 1, which is actually not quite a tip as much as a big red alert reminder. And that tip or reminder for you is this. Look, after a diet, to be frank, you are primed for rapid weight regain. You are so incredibly fragile and vulnerable to gaining weight. And you might have heard the expression or joke before, I can gain 10 pounds just looking at a donut. Well, to be honest, it couldn't be even more true when it comes to how you are and what position you are in as soon as you finish a dieting phase. And this is what I mean. Throughout your dieting phase, you are noticing a plethora of changes. And what I mean is your metabolism is slowly coming down and the number of calories you're burning per day as your body fights really hard to conserve energy. Meanwhile, your appetite is steadily increasing. Your cravings are increasing. The frequency at which you not only think about food, but base all of your decisions and daily activities around food is also increasing while your energy levels are zapped every single day. So when you have finally decided to call it quits or reached a firm end date on your diet, that's fantastic. But when you literally flip that psychological switch, and thus giving you the green light to, no longer have your guard up when it comes to food choices, portion controls, and limiting some of those tempting treats that often trigger copious amounts of calories being consumed, well, that is a problem because your body has worked really hard the past few weeks or few months to conserve energy, to expend very few calories, and to prioritize body fat storage. So what do you think is going to happen when you open the floodgate, so to speak, and welcome a major surplus in calories? Your body is going to store every single calorie it possibly can in the form of body fat to protect itself against future stress, aka future dieting. So again, your reminder here to recap is that you are very vulnerable and in fact primed for rapid weight regain after a diet. But fortunately for you, there is a solution we can put into place, which brings us to tip number 2. You need to begin slowly and diligently eating more food when you finish a diet. Now, hey, I get it. I totally get it. We're taught that eating less leads to weight loss. So doesn't it make sense that eating more would lead to weight gain? In most cases, yes, but not after a dieting phase because you're in a very unique position that is similar to how you gradually reduced your calories to lose weight during a dieting phase. You're going to do the exact same thing. Think of it as a reverse diet, which is a term commonly talked about when you finish a dieting phase. You're going to gradually and patiently increase your calories. And what this does when you do so patiently and diligently is it allows your body to slowly remove the physiological stress that a calorie deficit or diet is providing. You begin to remove some of the psychological and emotional stressors that come from dieting. And as you make these gradual increases, your body is able to quickly adapt because, hey, our body is quite dynamic. It's really, really cool. So if, for example, 1,200 calories used to be a deficit, and by the end of your diet, it was your new maintenance calorie intake because you weren't experiencing any loss on the scale, well, if you bump that up to 1,400 calories, for example, sure, it absolutely would be a calorie surplus for a very short amount of time, but soon your body would adjust, and that would become your new maintenance calorie increase. And if we do this incrementally over time, we're able to drastically increase the amount that we eat while experiencing little to no movement on the scale. Therefore, you're able to maintain or sustain your healthy weight loss to date, which is really, really cool. Tip number 3, you need to have a firm plan in place to actually initiate the transition from a diet phase to life after dieting, what I like to call the post-diet maintenance phase. In fact, the exact blueprint I have used with the 1,400 men and women I've worked one-on-one with over the years when helping them navigate their own diet to post-diet maintenance phase transition comes down to a 3-day transition blueprint. And day 1, I like to do this over the weekend because there's less stress, more time to relax, and more opportunity to enjoy the social occasions with, some of the friends we might have neglected during our dieting phase. So I like to break it down as Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And my transition plan looks like this in short. On Friday, we're starting to, learn what our next portion increase in calories or macronutrients looks like. We prepare all of our food for day 1 of that, which will be Sunday. And then on Saturday, we take our end of diet photos, measurements, weigh-in. We eat business as usual, but we do go out and enjoy a celebratory free meal, a meal that consists of food that is not only more than we would typically eat, but also food we haven't enjoyed in a while, some of our favorite foods, before Sunday, simply getting right back on track. This time, however, using our new portion goals. But the kicker is getting back on track on Sunday, or day 3 of this transition plan, is a heck of a lot easier because you prepped your food ahead of time on Friday, and now you don't have to think. You can muster up the courage and the willpower and the energy to say no to the temptations that may be lingering up here after that free meal, and simply heat and then eat your already prepped food. Which brings us to now tip number 4. Since you're no longer dieting and chasing a new low number on the scale week after week, we need to set some new goals. Because here's the truth. And I promise you, if you embrace this, what I'm about to tell you, you're gonna have a much better and more positive outlook during a maintenance phase. Every time your weight is maintained when you step on the scale, it's within plus or minus 2 or 4 pounds, which is a complete normal daily fluctuation. That's a win. Celebrate it just like you would a new low. And I promise you, maintenance will be smooth sailing. But we also need to set some additional goals that are beyond the scale. And I like setting exercise-based goals. And in particular, my one little bonus extra advanced strategy here for you is set a body weight exercise specific goal. Think pull-ups, think burpees, think push-ups, etc. Or, comparing your, 5 or 10 repetition maximum to your body weight on some of the big compound movements. But the reason I like body weight is because it forces us to, in order to make continued great progress on that goal, like number of chin-ups or pull-ups, for example, well, we have to, maintain our weight really well, which means we have to continue to stay strong and consistent with our nutritional compliance and overall discipline. So by staying consistent with our nutrition, we are satisfying our sustainable weight loss goals, but also now helping to make more progress towards our body weight dependent exercise specific goals. Tip number 5 for us is simply this. Last but not least, you need to win the weekends. One of the biggest adjustments we make during a dieting phase is we kind of clam up during weekends to prevent the exposure to social occasions when we know we are most likely to be tempted to stray off of our plan. But now that we're no longer dieting, we want to begin to gradually reintroduce those social occasions and have those free meals every couple of weeks. And if we let that get too out of hand, it can be very, very catastrophic to our goal of sustainable weight loss. So what I recommend is treating the weekend just like you do the weekdays. Prepare food in advance, maybe Thursday night or Friday evening. Have a game plan. Know what your day looks like, especially because your structure, think wake time, extracurriculars, and bedtime, are going to look a little different between the weekdays and the weekends. So go in with meals prepped, or at least food prepped in bulk. Have a game plan. Know when you're going to wake up, go to the gym, how you're going to navigate the day. And if you do go enjoy yourself during some social occasions, either plan to intentionally indulge and call it a free meal and just simply get right back on track, do this, every other week, twice a month, or navigate mindfully. Save some of your portions from earlier in the day and eat them later in the day at that social gathering, so you have what I like to refer to as more wiggle room, so to speak, to enjoy that meal while still staying on track. There you have it. 5 sustainable weight loss tips, healthy, surprising tips that you're not going to find on your latest blog, podcast, or wherever you're getting your sustainable weight loss information. And to recap for you, they are as follows. Number 1, it's more of a reminder, but you are vulnerable and primed for weight regain after a diet, and you need to do something about that. So tip number 2, start eating more food patiently and diligently. Tip number 3, have a 3-day transition plan when navigating your dieting phase and transitioning to your post-diet weight maintenance phase. Tip number 4, set a couple non-scale new goals. And tip number 5, make sure you continue to win the weekends. Hey, thank you so much for joining me in this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, hey, it'd mean the world to me if you took a minute to like this video and share it with a friend, family member, or loved one who you think would also benefit. And if you're interested in 11 more research-backed tips, I put together this free, easy, short read, about 25-page ebook, which you can find right below this video, that does detail 11 more research-backed tips to help you not only lose the weight, but keep it off for good. Again, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.